Hello everyone, welcome back to the new session. In this session, I am going to explain you the lesson Rendezvous with Ray. This is taken from the Unit 4 Reading A of the 10th Standard English textbook, Telangana. Okay, on to the session now. It was a unique friendship. Now, the theme of this unit is films and theatres. You know films means movies. Theatres means the cinema theatres. Yeah, generally what they are speaking in this particular unit is about the movies, how they influence the people, how they provide livelihood to many people, and how it is a gift to some of the artists to tap their talent. Many artists who have the skill of acting, dancing, singing, all these people get an opportunity to portray their talent. So that's what movies and theatres do, is what we know from this unit. Here in this lesson we have the rendezvous with Ray. Rendezvous means a small conversation with Ray. Who is this Ray? This Ray is none other than Satyajit Ray. Have you ever heard about his name? Satyajit Ray. Satyajit Ray was a Bengali director, and he got worldwide fame. You can say he was the first one from the Indian cine world to get such a big name and fame. He was even awarded the Oscar award. Maybe I was in 4th or 5th standard when it came into news that Satyajit Ray was given the Oscar award for his lifetime achievement. Such wonderful were his movies. You know, in the 1990s, India wasn't developed that much. To get a worldwide recognition, we have to think how much he should have been realistic, how much skilled and artistic he should have been, that he got the worldwide recognition. Yeah, and this lesson is about some information about this great man, Satyajit Ray. And the person who is giving us the information is Gaston Roberge. This Gaston Roberge is a French Canadian priest. Priest means one who preaches the word of God. He was a Christian. He used to spread the word of God. Okay. So in this lesson, Gaston Roberge tells about Satyajit Ray, what all he could gather information about. All that he is giving us an information, right? It was a unique friendship that developed between a French Canadian priest and one of the world's greatest film directors, and had a singular impact on Bengali films both academically and practically. Look here, director. You can either pronounce it director or director. Director is in British English, director is in American English. Okay, so both are correct, both are allowed in India, so you can pronounce it either way. Okay, and this friendship between Gaston Roberge and Satyajit Ray had a great impact on Bengali cinema. It was en route to India in 1961. En route means on the way to India. Gaston was coming to India. It was en route to India in 1961 at a stopover in New York. The 26-year-old Father Gaston Roberge was acquainted with the works of Satyajit Ray through the Appu trilogy. Roberge was acquainted with the works of Satyajit Ray through the Appu trilogy. Appu trilogy means how you have Bahubali 1, Bahubali 2, part 1, part 2, yeah, like that. The same characters, with the same characters, 1 or 2 or 3 parts are made. Nowadays we have the series, each one episode, like that. Movies are made with the same characters, the next part, that is the KGF part 1, part 2, like that. For Appu, there are 3 parts. What Roberge did is, he watched the 3 movies all part 1, part 2 and part 3. He found the world of Apu so fascinating that he saw all 3 films in one sitting, and there began his long-standing love affair with the people of India and Bengali cinema and culture, which led to path-breaking work in those fields. Now look, as soon as he watched these 3 movies, they were so interesting that he watched all the 3 at one go, and he understood how rich the Indian culture is, how great the director is in capturing the emotions and feelings of the people. And then in his latest book, Satyajit Ray Essays 1970-2005, he published a book. The name of the book is Satyajit Ray Essays 1970-2005. A compilation of his essays, as the name suggests, being published by Manohar Publishers, New Delhi. Roberts provides a scholarly original analysis of Ray's works, giving an insight into the greatness of Ray, both as a person and as an artist. Now he has done a very genuine analysis on the life of Satyajit Ray, as he knew him as an artist as well as a person. He was a friend as well as a great fan or a great admirer of his works. So both the ways he has done great justice in that book. The Apu trilogy was in fact my first portal to West Bengal and its people. So only through Apu trilogy he got to know how the people of West Bengal lived, what is their life and what is their culture. He told Frontline, in his youth, all he knew of Bengal was through Mircea Eliot's La Nuit Bengali, some of Tagore's poems, and a Reader's Digest article on Mother Teresa. So before watching this Apu trilogy, he had very less information, maybe through Rabindranath Tagore's poems and the works of Mother Teresa. You all know Mother Teresa started her mission in Kolkata, that is West Bengal. So in an article he got to know about West Bengal. If the harsh image of poverty brought out by the article on the saint of the slums haunted him, Apu's world came as a reassurance. Actually, when he read this article on Mother Teresa, they were written the harsh realities, the poverty, the striking absolute poverty in India, how the people struggled, how Mother Teresa helped them out, how she served them, how she served the slums, what all she had done. He could understand the utter poverty of India and the sufferings of the people. And when he watched Apu trilogy, he could match both of them, and now he understood whatever he read in the article was 100% true. And then, no, Apu, Sarbajaya, even Harihar did not need my help. But how not to love them? I thought it was fortunate that I would soon be among them, he wrote. So he says that it's their lifestyle. Apu, Sarbajaya, Harihar, these are the characters in the movie. Which movie? Apu trilogy. Okay. So these characters never asked him for help or donation or anything. They didn't ask. That was just a movie telling about the story of a village scenario. Okay. And then he says they never asked me for help. But even after watching that movie, if I am not moved by heart, if I am not into them, if I don't do anything for them, I am not fit to be called as a human being, he thought. And he was very happy that he was going to be one among them. That is, he is going to West Bengal. Roberts does not endorse the accusation of race detractors that the master director made his reputation selling India's poverty to the West. So, Satyajit Ray was made movies such amazingly that he got fans all over the world. All over the world, people liked him, and this name and fame brought so many enemies in his field. So, Satyajit Ray was very famous. Other directors who did not want him to move ahead. Suppose you are going on winning, you are the topper of the class, you have a gang of people around you telling, topper, what is there, you might have studied everything, you know everything, Ray, you are a very big genius, Ray. Like that, people keep flattering you, and hearing at them or listening to them, you think, I am a big topper, I don't need to read. Slowly you start losing interest in studies, and automatically you won't get good marks. That is what the detractors do. Detractors means those who want to disturb you. They'll tell some or the others. Sometimes they tell this fellow is copying in the exam, this fellow is doing cheating, that is why he got marks. Then you get disturbed. Though you did not cheat, when they tell you get disturbed, that is what they want exactly. So here also there were some enemies or detractors. Detractors means those who wanted to disturb him. Detractors means one who want to disturb. Disturbing people. The accusation of race detractors that the master director made his reputation selling India's poverty to the West. What struck me most was not the material poverty depicted in the films, but the enormous spiritual poverty of some rich people is much more deplorable than material poverty. So what he says is, yes, in Appu trilogy, if you watch Appu trilogy, you can see the poor people, the scenario. It's very poor area where there are huts, small mud shacks, not even a proper house, no proper clothing. People wear torn clothes also. How the people used to be in those days, how children were without education, how poverty was so crushing, how India was. That is what is there in the movie. Okay, so when someone watches it, of course they get to know the poverty of India, but that was not the idea of Satyajit Ray. Satyajit Ray wanted to capture the emotions of the people. He wanted to make it more realistic. So he made it realistically. However, it was there in the how it was there in the natural world, the same way he captured it. That's what he did. Okay, what these other people, those who want to disturb him, look at him. He is showing to the whole world that India is a poor country. He is taking the shame of India. He is trying to defame India. He is trying to bring down India's name, is what people are telling. He said, Roberts does not speak with the arrogance of the West. I was here on a quest to know the world and in a process to know myself. Now look, Roberts, though he is from the West, he understood Ray very well. He said that all these people were trying to disturb him, but Ray never wanted to take out the shame of India. He just wanted to do his work very naturally, in a very realistic way, where people can get connected to the movies, where they can take themselves into the hero or heroine's role. Suppose you watch a movie where you don't have any connection with the story, automatically you'll get bored. You don't feel like watching the movie, you'll feel asleep. But when there is a connectivity with that character or with that lifestyle, automatically you get interested. As most of the people in India were in villages and they were in the same economic condition, he thought they will all connect. That is why he made such movies. But the people were telling him otherwise. They told that he was a bad person. But Robert says he was actually a great artist. And now he says that he wanted to know the world, how the world is. He wanted to explore the whole world. But when he came to India and watched the situation in India and had the friendship of Ray, he actually knew himself, who actually he was, what his purpose in life was. I did not come here to convert. In fact, I am the one who got converted. And now look, he says he did not come here to convert me. Generally, when Christians or missionaries come to India, they come and try to convert the people to Christianity. So he says his mission to India was not to convert anyone to any religion. When he came to India, he got converted into the lifestyle, into the level in which the people here wanted. He got into their level and he started loving them. He started reaching out, he says. But it took him 9 years after reaching Calcutta and joining St. Xavier's College to muster up the confidence to meet Ray in person. Although I wanted to meet him right away, I did not want to just go and see him like he was a living museum piece. Now look children, this might be a question. What does this mean? He did not want him to look at him as a living museum piece. Means if you go and visit a museum, what do you do? First in the room there are so many clothes. So this is Nizam's clothes, this is this one, this is this one. You just give a glance and you keep going. Then next room you go, there are some flowers, or there are some carvings, there are some utensils. You go. You don't have a deep look into it because you don't have much information about them. Whatever you know only, you will stand and look at it and stare at it and then come. Now what he says is, if I don't collect any information about Ray, and directly if I go and meet Ray, what conversation can I have? Hi Ray. Ray would say, hi. How are you? Ray would say, I am fine. I am very happy to meet you. Ray would also say, I too am very glad. After that, what? They won't have anything to talk to. He didn't want his friendship to be like that. He wanted to gather more and more information. And then when he met Ray, he wanted to tell, I like your movie. You have made it very fantastical. In that movie, the cinematography is very nice. In this movie, it is like that. If he watches all the movies, gathers information only, he can speak. So that is what he wanted to do. So how much long did he take? 9 years. Those days Google Chrome was not there to go and check in the Wikipedia or gather information in a quick glance. So he took 9 long years, gathered information, and then he met Ray. And then I wanted to prepare myself, get to know his works more, so that when we met, there could be a worthwhile dialogue. So he wanted to have a meaningful conversation, a friendly conversation. He said, when they finally met, it was the beginning of a close friendship that lasted 22 years until Ray's death in 1992. So once they met, they were friends, forever friends. Forever friends means till Ray died, Roberts and Ray were friends. Yeah, so that's a very great thing. Generally, when we make friendship, after a little while we have some difference of opinion or we don't like them, we start moving away and we break the friendship. But here this, you can see a loyal friendship of Roberts and Ray, which was for 22 years. It was a very quiet friendship. Quiet means very silent itself. How can there be a silent friendship? This is what we are all wondering, because when we all friends come together, all we can hear is noise and noise. Here it was a quiet friendship, means it was a silent friendship where silence was also a comfortable tone among themselves. That means they were the best friends. It was a very quiet friendship that developed over the years. Manikda, so he used to call Satyajit Ray as Manikda, was a shy person and always very discreet about displaying his emotions, said Roberts. Though to outsiders, Ray's massive stature, physical and intellectual might have made him come across as cold, aloof and even intimidating, he was in reality a very simple and unassuming man with a subtle sense of humor. Actually, Ray was not so extrovert. He was very silent type of person, very shy type, very hesitant to mingle with people. What impression it brought is he is very proud, he is very reserved, he does not mingle. That's how the other people thought about him. But in reality, he was a very simple person, very down to earth person with a good sense of humor. And then it was an unspoken arrangement between the two of them to meet on Sundays at 9 a.m. at Ray's residence and Bishop Lefroy Road, Kolkata. Now, always this Roberts used to meet Ray at 9 a.m. on Sundays. Meet Ray on 9 a.m. on Sundays. Every Sunday. Okay. And then after 9 years, he met Ray. After 9 years after coming to India, he met Ray. What was he doing? All these 9 years, he was gathering information about Ray. Once they became friends, Robert started meeting him every Sunday. How many years? 22 years. Till Ray passed away, they were friends. Okay. How did people look at Ray? How the people looked at Ray is very much cold and intimidating, means very scary person. But in reality, how was he? He was a very simple person, unassuming man. Unassuming means One who does not expect anyone to appreciate him is called an unassuming person. Though he does great things, he doesn't expect anyone. He just keeps doing and doing. That's what is the character of Ray. Okay, and then Ray would invite Robert over for private screenings of his latest films and welcomed comments on them. But this happened only after the friendship had cemented. Had cemented means had become very strong. For in the early days of their dialogue, Ray's shyness prevented him from talking about his own films. Now look, Ray was a very shy type person. How much he was shy is, he never even talked about his own movies. He only made it. He can tell about it. He can speak, he can show off, he can tell. But he never did it because he never wanted him to do that self-praising thing. Okay. And after the friendship cemented means friendship became strong. What did Ray do? Ray took Robert for private screenings. What do you mean by private screenings? Private screening means before the movie is released for the audience, the crew, the filmmakers, the crew, the entire group, they sit and watch the movie. In case there is something extra, something unwanted, something they feel is not so relevant to the society, people may not like, they'll edit it and then only they'll release for the public. Okay, so what happened is after the friendship became strong, Ray took him for private screenings. Actually, to tell me, if you want to get a genuine feedback on your appearance, or generally we are more worried about our appearance, right? Now look, I am wearing this black saree, green blouse. How am I looking? I have a doubt. Does it suit me or not? Whom will I ask whether this is good on me? Some people are there, they'll always say that, you are looking good teacher, this is very nice on you. But there are some people who would say, no, that is not matching you, that color is very dark, don't wear it. Those people give us a genuine feedback, a frank, a straightforward feedback. We will ask those people only because they are very straightforward and very genuine. Now, Ray used to take Robert for private screenings. We can understand that Robert was a very frank person, very straightforward person who used to give genuine feedback. That is why, and one more thing is they became very close. Ray could share anything with Robert and Robert could share anything with Ray. They became such comfortable friends. That is why he used to take him for private screenings. Okay, he was even shy of receiving compliments. Compliments means you get some appreciation. Satyajit Ray was even shy to receive compliments. To Roberts, the greatest mark of Ray's appreciation for him was that he often addressed the French-speaking priest in Bengali. In spite of my lack of elegance in that language and the fact that Ray knew both English and Bengali so well. Now look, Ray's mother tongue is Bengali. Yeah? And both of them used to speak in English because Roberts did not know that much of Bengali. But while speaking, he used to address the French speaking priest in Bengal. He used to call him in Bengali. So he used to like it very much. He felt that they were both very close friends. He felt that closeness, the bonding in the friendship, he liked it. Now this is the most important part of the entire lesson. Ray's screenplay manuscript were an art by themselves. Robert says handwritten in Bengali with notes in English for his set designer, with sketches here and there and occasional staff notation of fragments of music. When Ray used to make the manuscripts means handwritten scripts. Okay, manuscripts. In that script only he used to write whatever is required. Okay, what all he used to do is he used to write the set designer what all he should write. That set designer for him, he would write the imagination, entire imagination he would put there, and he would put some sketches whatever according to him in the imagination he wants. All that he would make a sketch, and then he also makes the music. So this specialist, an all-rounder can only do this. So that's what he was. He used to write. So it was really a masterpiece. One Sunday morning, Robert found Ray in a disturbed mood. As usual, Robert came to Ray's house, and today Ray was very disturbed. A few well-known personalities of the city had visited him earlier to go through some of his manuscripts. Now he asked Ray, what happened? Why are you so dull? You look so tensed. What is that? Robert asked Satyajit Ray. Satyajit Ray said that some well-known people came. Well-known means very famous people came to refer his manuscripts. They came to gather some information to learn how to write the manuscript, because Ray was becoming very successful. They wanted to learn, so they came and visited. After they left, Ray found the Charulata script was missing. Now what happened? Who might have done anything to them? The people who had come, they only might have done. Many people came. Among them, one should have taken, isn't it? Charulata script was missing. Ray was almost sure who the culprit was. Now, Ray might have been observing. For him, these scripts are like his treasures. So, when he gave them for reference also, he might have been observing who has which script, who is referring which script. Automatically, we will observe. The same way he had observed, and he knows for sure who has taken the Charulata script and gone away without returning to him. He knows for sure. And then I asked him whether he was planning to take any action, and he said no, and explained to me that he did not want to hurt the reputation of the person. He knew for sure who had taken the script, but he did not want to. Now look, they are well-known people only came there. So they have some standard, some status in the society, right? So if he goes there and asks them, hey, you took my Charulata script, no, give me. How would he feel? He would feel ashamed. He would feel very much hurt. He did not want that to happen. He did not want to hurt the person, and he let him go. He did not go and ask. I was absolutely stunned by his humane concern. Look, instead of being concerned about his Charulata script, he is concerned about the reputation of the person. And this really impressed Robert. He was very much taken aback. He really admired the humane concern. Humane concern means humanity. He was not bothered about the material. He was bothered about the human self-respect. That really impressed him so much. Like Rabindranath Tagore, Ray strode his time like a colossus. Robert's right. Now look, this incident, you may get it as a conversation or a skit. So you keep this entire incident in your mind and formulate a conversation. I have already prepared a conversation. You can refer our playlist in the channel. In another creative writing, I have made the interview of Robert. In that, you can get the gist of the entire lesson. Okay, that was a public exam question. Just refer so that it will be like a revision of the entire lesson. Yeah. Like Rabindranath Tagore, Ray strode his time like a colossus. Roberts writes, it was as if all Bengal was in Manikda, the rich and the poor, the powerful and humble, the peasants and the city persons, children, teenagers, adults and old people, men and women. So he compares Ray with the great poet, the Nobel laureate, Rabindranath Tagore, how Rabindranath Tagore wrote poems on all the spheres of life, rich, poor, young, old, good, bad, sad, happy, like that. Rabindranath, like that. Satyajit Ray also made movies on all the themes of life. So he was a real master. Okay. Philosophically too, Roberts feels Ray took off where Tagore signed off. If one compares the last major prose piece by Tagore, Sabyatar Sankat, which he wrote at the beginning of the Second World War, which contains his immortal dictum that in spite of what was happening in the world, it would be a sin to lose faith in man, and the last three films of Ray, Ganeshatru, Saka Parasaka, and Agantuk, the analogy becomes clear. He even says that as and how Tagore did his last book, that is Sabyatar Sankat, in which he tells that though there is so much of hatred we can see in the Second World War, man should not lose his trust in human beings. The same thing you can see in the last three movies of Satyajit Ray. So there is quite a similarity in Tagore and Rabindranath and Satyajit Ray is what Robert says. In these three films, Ray was at his most personal, and when some critics saw the films as didactic and verbose, he felt deeply hurt. But in these last films, Satyajit was directly talking to us, conveying his personal message on society and civilization. If the impulse that motivated his earlier films was aesthetics, in the last three it was self-expression. And there we were denying him his right to speak. As the saying goes, no one is a prophet in one's own country, said Roberts, an agnostic throughout his life. It is possible, Roberts feels, that in the face of death, Ray was searching for an answer. This was suggested by some of the music he used in Shaka Parashaka. In the last three movies, that is Ganashatru, Shaka Parashaka, and Agantu, Satyajit Ray was trying to share his personal experiences, giving advices to the people, telling them what to do, what not to do, through the dialogues of the hero or the heroine in the movie. And what some people said is, some critics said is, this is very boring. He is giving moral lessons in the movie. It is not entertaining. It is very very boring. It is like we are being dictated, and it is lengthy. It is full of lengthy dialogues. When they all told this, Ray was very disappointed. He thought people would accept him and they would all appreciate him, but he was not given such a great encouragement. So in his last three movies, they are Ganashatru, Shaka Parashaka, Shaka Prashaka. Sorry, it is not Parashaka, it is Prashaka, and Agantuk. He was conveying his personal message. Okay, and what did the critics say? The critics said that it was didactic and verbose. So he was very disappointed. The last time the two friends met, Robert was in hospital on his deathbed. It was a Sunday, and Robert, true to habit, arrived on the dot at 9. He had grown so weak that he looked frail as a child. I did not stay long. As I was leaving, Manikda said, "Bhalo laglo." Those were his last words to me. Now, though Ray was sick, he was on his deathbed. As the habit, Robert went to meet him on Sunday 9 a.m. and the last words that Ray said is "Bhale laglo." And this Bhale laglo was in Bengali. That means it was good. Okay, so he was very happy about it. One important fallout of this friendship was the establishment of Chitrabani. So with this friendship, there was the most important outcome of this friendship was the establishment of Chitrabani. What is this Chitrabani actually? Chitrabani is a communication and film institute. First communication and film institute, you can say. First Communication and Film Institute, the first of its kind in West Bengal, which Roberts founded in 1970, to which Ray, as a token of friendship, lent his name as co-founder. Who established this? Roberts established it. Okay, Roberts established Chitrabani, and then Ray was in the first governing body, and after a few terms readily agreed to be the institute's advisor. Roberts arranged most of the initial funding from Canadian agencies. I had no reservations applying for them, for I feel richer countries in the West are indebted to countries like India, he said. He arranged all the fundings and he established Chitrabani. With the establishment of Roberts established the Chitrabani and made the funds available from Canada. For 26 years, Robert was the director of Chitrabani. So, who is Robert? Robert is the director of Chitrabani for 26 years. He was the director for 26 years, and under him the institute not only produced important documentary features but also became breeding ground for local talent for filmmaking. So with this establishment of Chitrabani, people were taught how to act, how to become professionals, how to dance, how to make the films, and this was a great breeding institute for filmmakers, and that's what Robert did. So this was a wonderful friendship between Satyajit Ray and Robert. Hope this lesson was, this explanation was useful to you in understanding the lesson better. If this was of any use, kindly click the like button and share with as many friends as possible. Please subscribe our channel for further updates. Thank you for watching and have a great day.